Are we live? We are live. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Welcome back to another day in the Brew Lab with me, Lone Fox, ready to sweep some aggro decks out of the meta. So sick of them. Honestly, right now, the way control decks are positioned, it's just I think it's where it's at. I mean, you know, the meta shifts all the time. That's why it's called the meta. But there are moments when for sure aggro decks seem to be dominating. Other times when mid-range decks are, the king of the roost. Combo decks, they're quite firmly always in jank territory. But right now, there's so many good aggro decks that mid-range is being pushed to the side, and combo decks, like I said, firmly in jank territory mostly. And so I mean, as evidenced by Sultai Ultimatum, all over the place. I'm just coming across it non-stop, up and down the ladder. Uh, Control decks are on top right now, and that's just my opinion. But I hope you agree with me. So today I'm gonna bring you another control deck, and one that I haven't done yet. I just whooped some ass. I've fallen down to 90% Mythic. I spent all day playing this deck on the ladder, and I took a beating. I lost a lot of matches before it came to the perfect point, and finally now we're at the point where it's cooking. I'm loving this thing. I'm really happy where this deck is at. I'm sitting on over 80% win rate. Let me just double check my. I think a couple of my viewers have mentioned I ramble too much in the intro, but I think it's pretty crucial because I explain why I got here. So my stats. By the way, if none of you are using MTGA system yet, I highly recommend it. It is definitely one of the best deck trackers on the market. It gives you so much information. You get to see, who your last opponents were, the performance of each deck that you've played, uh, articles written by, incredible players. Um, there's also a YouTube section where you can see all of various content creators' decks that they post every day, including yours truly. So I highly recommend MTJ Assistant. I'm not even paid or sponsored by them at all, so I'm just doing this because I honestly mean it. It's really that worthwhile. Um, for your beginner players and your experienced players, it's definitely very essential to get all of this information to improve your gameplay. So as I was saying, let me just have a quick look here. I still need to figure out how to show you guys this because right now I'm seeing something on my screen that you are not seeing, but da, 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 where is my deck? Because I've changed the name of it recently. It used to be Mardu Control, and then here we go. So I'm sitting on 68% win rate, 43 matches. That's some serious numbers. Even the top players in the world cannot wish to have a upwards of a 65% win rate. This is a game of chance. On top of being skilled, you need to have some luck. And so 66% win rate over that many games is it's a pretty average sized, a fairly big sized, not average, fairly big sized, what do they call it? When you have Oh my goodness. Drawing a blank once again on stream. The pool of data is quite big when you have 40, when someone says I've got 100% win rate and they've played one game and won it, then that's a pretty bad statistic. When you can say I have had 68% win rate over 40 games, then it starts to be more of a valid statistic. So here we go. Sweep, 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 sweepity sweep. The final version ended up having Yorion. That's why I had so many losses today. It's because I wasn't running Yorion. This is also a deck that I used to play back before the drop of Strixhaven. And since Strixhaven came out, I've been doing the thing that I've been doing for the last couple of days and going back, looking at the old decks that I had that were performing well, and inserting perhaps one or two Strixhaven cards here and there to really make it pop off. And in this case, the only change has been the addition of Professor Onyx, which I love, of course. You guys have seen, those of you who follow me, I love Professor Onyx. It is a great win con, it is a great card. It gives the control decks a little bit of life gain, a little bit of card draw, a little bit of sacrifice, so you can get rid of creatures that have hexproof, creatures that have indestructible. So Professor Onyx, lovely card. That is literally the only change I made. I think I added some pathways. That's it. I left it exactly as it was back before Strixhaven dropped, and it's still doing really, really well. I didn't even put any of the learn lesson things in because I didn't even know what to remove. So let me just run through the deck for you. I'm going to lay out the play lines, various interactions, synergies that you might come across in your average match when playing this game with this deck, and hopefully it will be sort of matching with your play style, and you will decide to spend your wild cards or not on some of the mythics and rares that are in this deck, and it is quite heavy on those, I must be honest. There's a lot of rares, quite a few mythics, so yeah, let's talk about it. So Sweeper Tribal, obviously. If it's Sweeper Tribal, you better play Mardu. That's where all the best sweepers are. That's the only colors that have sweepers. Actually, blue and green do not have any sweepers. So I'm playing all the sweepers, every single one that is worth playing. There's of course some more expensive, pricey ones. They're even more pricey than a Ruinous Ultimatum, but they're just, what's the point? I had so many anyway, and I ran out of cards because I'm already Yorion decks 80 cards. I'm not going to play any more than that. So the sweepers are Shatter the Sky, Extinction Event, Draconic Intervention. Oh, beg your pardon. This is the other card I put in. I replaced Storm's Wrath with Draconic Intervention. I was only running 2 copies of Storm's Wrath because this deck has a fair number of Planeswalkers, and you don't want to be killing your own Planeswalkers. So I'm playing 2 copies. I just took out the 2 copies of Storm's Wrath and I put in 2 copies of Draconic Intervention. So Draconic Intervention, Professor Onyx, the only additions from Strixhaven. So where was I? 3 copies of Shatter the Sky, 4 copies Extinction Event, 2 copies Draconic Intervention, 4 Doomskars, 3 Ruinous Ultimatums. Lots and lots of sweepers. So this is your typical like anti-aggro deck. If it's a control matchup, let's see how it goes. But if you're playing against any sort of aggro deck, this deck should really just sweep the floor with them. Hence the name, Sweepity Sweep Sweeps. The problem with these colors is they don't have very good card draw. So I put in some card draw. Essentially Mazemind Tome and Showdown of the Skalds. Now you're wondering, why are you playing Showdown? You've got no creatures to put the 1/1 counters on. Well, we do. It's tucked away inside an Omen of the Sun, and there's a Valki in there. But that's really not the point. The point is to draw cards. You do not want to end up top decking with this deck. Of course, I could have gone for, I don't know, Seize the Spoils, or the new one, Plum. No, what's it called? The other Lorehold card drawing engine thing that also gains you 2 life, but then you've got to discard. And I don't have much ways to reanimate stuff. So also I'm playing Yorion, so you want to be playing Sagas so you can blink them. So Showdown of the Skalds was an easy inclusion, and if you are casting um, instants on sorceries on top of Showdown of the Skalds, then you might want to have some little 1/1 soldier tokens to put those +1/+1 counters onto, but it's really not essential. It's just a way to keep the value, keep the cards coming, keep the answers to the board state coming. Other things we can bounce with Yorion. I'm running 3 copies of Omen of the Forge, 3 copies of Omen of the Sun, 4 copies of Elspeth's Nightmare, and 4 copies of Elspeth's Conquered Death, which is great because you can bring back your Planeswalkers. Well, namely just Professor Onyx. For those of you who do not know this yet, for those of you who have not come across this issue to your own dismay in a game, the modal dual-faced cards, there's a few situations in which this happens. Elspeth's Conquer's Death is one of them, but let's just, for example, just give you a couple of other examples. Something like Banishing Light. So let's just say you have Tybalt down. They're banishing light your Tybalt. You find a way to kill the Tybalt. Sorry, the Banishing Light, so that you essentially return the card that was exiled to the battlefield. It's not going to come back as Tybalt. It's going to come back as Valki. You had a Tybalt in play. They kill it. You play an Elspeth's Conquered Death. You manage to get to the 3rd chapter. You manage to return target creature or planeswalker card from your graveyard to the battlefield. You're not going to be able to choose Tybalt. You have to choose Valki. So the reason for this is because the front card, I don't know the exact wording of the rules, but the card with the single triangle is the one that is the front card. That is always going to be the one that is considered when it comes to these reanimations or what have you that I just exemplified. So don't expect to be reanimating a Valki with Elspeth Conquers Death. That's not going to happen. But we do want to exile their permanents that are mana value 3 or greater, because that's always great. And we do want to tax their non-creature spells the following turn for an extra 2. So, if we return a Yorion, that's good because we can blink everything again. Or if we return a Professor Onyx, that's also pretty damn good. What else? That's really it. I mean, it's just control the board, sweep the crap out of everything that they play. Flicker the stuff that you want to flicker with Yorion. And then you win con. Well, you might think to yourself, well, what are we doing here? There's almost no ways to swing in and kill people. Well, you can -8 Professor Onyx. You can swing in with some Omen of the Sun tokens. You can swing in with Yorion and get the kill. Of course, you can also put your +1/+1 counters from Showdown of the Skalds on the Yorion, which is pretty cool. That's it. But when you're playing a Valki deck, or let's say Tybalt deck, you're going to be exiling cards off the top of the player's library, which means opponent's library, which means you can be casting whatever the hell their win con is. So oftentimes, if you haven't annoyed your opponent into conceding by sweeping everything they play, you can also potentially cast some threat that they have in their decks with Valki. So with Tybalt, sorry. So yeah, I mean that's really it. The only change now while talking, I do this a lot, and I apologize for those who are clicking my EtherHub link. The only change I would make here is to remove maybe one Invoke the Divine, because this is Mardu. We can run a copy of Ripart. Just one. Why not? We could. I'd rather gain life. I beg your pardon. Than because it all Rip Apart also just does artifacts and enchantments. So does Invoke the Divine. Rip Apart is sorcery speed. Invoke the Divine is instant speed. Also a little bit of life gain. Great. So let's leave it at that. That's the only change I think I'll make now. Just to add another little Strixhaven card there into the deck. So that's the deck. Land base. 3 of each pathway. 1 of each castle. Some basics. 4 triomes. Let's jump into the games. Man, so far so good. I had 2 amazing games I could record. Hopefully we can climb a little bit back up into the higher 90s. It really damaged my rank today. Sweepers. I love it. Good. Tell the Doomskar. Fetch Yorion. Play Showdown. Opponent is playing a Giganta deck. Interesting. 98%er with a Giganta deck. I like it. We're reaching the end of the season. There's a lot of jank. I'm loving life. Let's play black. We're playing mono black. Alright. Play the Omen at flash speed at the end of their following end step. Winota with Giganta? Can they even do that? No. They cannot, I don't think. I mean, unless they could, but nah. This is some weird jank. I like it. Bring it on. Bring it on. Magecraft? Without Durus? Should we sweep them? Yeah. I'm gonna play an Omen, we'll state that. And please, potentially a red land would be quite nice. Please. Le Magistrat. Our sanctuaries must be beacons of reason and calm, or else they will fail. I feel like they needed to put a comma there. Actually going to take my ECD, my, I don't know, Naya something. Okay. Yeah, Naya Adventures. Oh, that's right. Naya tokens with a twist. Naya Adventures. Something. I mean, otherwise they wouldn't be playing Edgewall. Another card I just cannot wait. Just Eldraine in general. Bye-bye. September cannot come soon enough. Off you go. Another Clarion Spirit. too early for the Professor. Red land, red land, red land. Love when the deck just listens. Although things are getting a little dodgy. We really need to... Huh! Alright. Interesting. Weird deck. I like it. I mean, Naya, although it's the only color combination that matches the flag of my country, it's not my favorite at all. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't cast the sweeper next time. I'm okay taking another. I mean, yeah, let's block this Draconic Magistrate now. Decisions. Get rid of the flyer. We'll just cast another next time, I guess. Yeah. Why can't I cast this? Oh, the Magistrate! The Magistrate! Roar. We can't even... Oh, no. That is a big problem. Slimy Magistrate. Cannot be casting our Skalds cards with the Magistrate. It's a big problem. We need another sweeper. I mean, it is Sweeper Tribal. It's all odd, even, odd, even. Either a Extinction Event or anything really. Please. Sure. Whatever, mate. I can't cast the spells from exile, so why would you take that? I would have taken the Omen if I was new. Stop me getting any life gains. So he won't swing in with the Clarion Spirit. He'll probably just do a 1, 2, 3, the Spirit. Yes. And then Sweeper. This is a real problem now. Draconic Magistrate. If you're playing any sort of white deck, play the Draconic Magistrate. Shuts down Emergent Ultimatum, shuts down Foretell, shuts down Adventures, shuts down Showdown on the Skalds. It's just an all-rounder. I mean, of course, it would be pretty easy to get him off the field because it's only a 1/3 with very little protection, but still. 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll do. That'll get rid of the Magistrate. Then we can sweep. I can still cast it, mate. That was a misplay though. I should have waited for the trigger on the Spellbinder before casting. Really? Swinging with the Innkeeper? Oh, didn't think so. That is a serious bloody misplay. That's game over. That Magistrate just fucked us big time. I cannot believe I did that. We would have gotten out of that. Oh, come on, Lone Fox. Get your shit together, mate. That was a complete and utter misplay. If I had Elspeth, the Magistrate, we could have swept the board. Why did I trigger that Mazemind Tome? So stupid. My bad. Sorry, y'all. Man. And I don't care what anyone says. I honestly don't. The matchmaker is rigged. Not in the sense that it's out to get you, but you end up playing with the decks that... I mean, it clearly... I hadn't played a single deck of the sort like that all night. And then suddenly, just as... You know, I play my... It depends what, you know, it depends what you're switching to. The algorithm will match you against something that's kind of probably a fair match, actually, which is good. But today has been my worst day of matches in a very long time. I just, every single time I queued up, I went up against the exact deck that would beat the crap out of me. They always had exactly the answer. So frustrating. Team Gruel Cycling. Ramping. Gonna foretell the Doomskar, but I'd rather cast an Omen and then fetch the Yorion. Oh baby. Top deck city. Now we can Draconic for 4. Sure thing. No problema. Do we Draconic next turn? Let's fetch Yorion. We can block this guy now. One more land, we can cast the Professor. But I think it's definitely time for a little bit of a Doomskaring. The opponent is out of cards. Oh yeah. Off you go. Salty road? No. Thank you. Ooh, I didn't change up my... well, I mean, there isn't a Mardu pet. I really think they need to change that. Mazemind was a lovely top deck there. Okay, it's definitely time to play the Professor.
Under my tutelage, even you can master death. I never thought I'd miss the library.
I've said in previous videos that it's always good to Mazemind during the opponent's turn. It's also doable on your upkeep. That's nice. It's nothing like a good sweeper.
There's got to be something useful.
Play another Omen and then double bounce it with Yorion. We've also got the everything sweep. I love Ruinous Ultimatum. Why not? We just Extinction Event it. Then we get to keep our little human doodads. Which is a good idea. We're almost at -8. I think we've got him. Skalds.
There has to be an answer here.
And are they gonna just scoop it up right now? I should have swung in. But you never know, they have some hasty creatures, I want to be able to block them. This kind of deck runs. Oh. Oh.
Forget everything you thought you knew.
Forget everything. God, I love the Professor. What a card. What a card. So 1-1. One last one with. Definitely would have won that last one if it wasn't for the Magistrate. Creature decks can just, you know, get stuck playing this type of sweepy shenanigans. Our only copy of Rupert and the mana to cast it. I like it very much. It's nice. Opponent is playing the Quandrix Doodad. They might think I'm playing Lawhold. I should try and make a Naya deck that is Naya, you know, the typical one. Because of the heritage. Lurus Rose. Okay. Oh, sorry. I beg your pardon. Of course, Lurus Rogues. I'm playing Rogues. Yay! Least favorite deck in Standard. Let's get rid of the counter. Rogues. Still hanging on to your life. Horrible deck. Okay, they don't have counter mana. But I'm gonna be reanimating those. Oh yeah. Yeah, I wanna try and ambush them with some Omen tokens. If they have another rogue, they get up to the required 8 that makes the Thieves Guild a 3/2 with Death Touch. Doesn't seem like they do. Please swing. Yes. Good. God, that feels good. There's nothing better than beating a road deck. Like, almost. Mono red still takes the cake. Yeah. You're such a great Magic player. Please play Lurus. Nobody cares, mate. You're crap Magic. Get a life. Counterspell? We're in the third. Good luck milling my Yorion deck. Into the story. Blue land. Keeps up on a gate or something. Doesn't have instant scatter mana. So let's play it white and bounce. Oh, up. Now you want to. It's all part of the plan. I want you to play Lurus so that I can easy gear. It's the only card in their deck that I can easily gear. It's kind of sucky. Play the Lurus. Come on. I know you want to. Yes. Odd. Fine. ETD would have been nicer because we could have brought the Yorion back, but we can just cast it on nothing at some point. Kind of sucks, but whatever. We do have Ruinous Ultimatum mana up, so we can cast that. Let's see what's on the top of the deck. Right, 2. Take the Mazemind. It was that many. I only left that there because of the Soaring Thought Thief. I was not thinking about the Rune Crab trigger. My bad. Alright, so. I'd rather counter this than that. For the crab. Counter spells. It's kind of the ideal deck. Actually, I got a lot of exile. So, I mean, look at all this blue. I would be very surprised if they don't have a counterspell at this point. So I'm just going to cast the Professor Onyx anyway. Do we have another one in the hand? Or should we just try go for the Sweeper? Good question. Let's try go for the Sweeper. Now, let's go for the Professor. Can get rid of the only counter in their hand. Can they take a creature? No. I've got a Heartless Act, so I shall be using the Professor as a means to draw cards and not as a way to sacrifice them. Okay.
That's Professor Onyx to you.
And another Doomskar. Now the question is, do they attack MTGA? I mean, they've got the mana to probably do everything. A little white in there? Life game or? Oh, this was a Yorion. Oh, sorry, it wasn't. So. Can do to our other Doomskar. Oh, sorry, we cast it. No. What? Didn't I just propel the other Doomskar?
Great! So much for a new start.
Sure. Don't have mana open. I need to get rid of this asshole. If you go. Sacrifice Wind Robbers. Some cards. This deck is we might as well.
Sorry.
They don't know I have this.
I never thought I'd miss the library.
That takes a little bit of mana. I'd like to get that Extinction Event, but hey, c'est la vie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. They're trying to hold up mana for a counter spell. But we can double Sweeper. Okay. There, choose a Valki.
Come on, there's gotta be something useful. Ugh.
El Sweeper Rooney. I mean, now we get like intervention. Off you go, guys. Ah, baby. Ah, baby, that feels good. Now, the question is, what are these three cards? Are they running more counter spells? Drown the Lock, Into the Story. I mean, didn't say please. So, I mean, it's rare. They probably don't have another Drown the Lock. It's quite likely that they have another Didn't say please. Or they're gonna go for a what's his name? Agadeem's Awakening on the remaining little doodads in their graveyard, which means they have to go 3 plus 2. Hold it. Okay.
Let's go digging.
Should we give it a try? It's worth a try. It's only one card there that we don't see. Oh, so ruinous. Strike those abominations down, let their names rot with their remains. Famous quote by General Kudrow. Are we getting salty roped by the rogue player? Get stuffed, mate. Everybody hates your deck, literally, except for the people who play it. And I probably think half of the people who play it are just the people that were like, look, if I can't beat them, I'm going to join them. Buzz off. Buzz off. Well, when the ropes get salty, the salty get roping. Famous quote by me, the brewmaster in chief. Go on, mate. Hello. Oops. 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 Hello. Hello. Your go. Your go. Your go. People like this deserve, I don't know, man, you know what? How can you report someone? I thought you could report people. Someone told me you could report people. What a sad loser. I really wanted to Valki next turn. Lovely. Just one Valki now. There. Long mages, batty boys. Unfortunately, my headphone battery is running low. I might need to plug in. Hello, Mr. Rogue Player. Why do people do this? I've never roped anyone in my entire career of MTGA. It's just... What did you think? I would get up off my chair or concede? Like, come on. Waste my time. That's pretty nice. Hey, Billy. How are you, my brother? Thanks for popping on the stream. Good to have you. What's your problem with Quandrix command? What's it doing? Not working in what sense? Yeah, no, for sure. But I'll never concede to a rope. Never. Especially not in ranked. I mean, if it's unranked, then I'm definitely gonna concede. Hmm. Conjux command not resolving. Are you playing historic or standard? It is an odd card that, I mean, definitely a lot of value. Plenty of standard. The only card that can stop you from casting instants and sorceries in standard right now is nothing, as far as I know. Unless they're playing one of those cards that says you cannot cast more than one spell per turn. Doesn't sound like it. What was the situation? Does it happen in every game? Or just random? Like, you know, 1 or 2 games where it happened. Foretelling. Nice. Okay. The law. The law scoops. This deck is really nice. I hate to do it because it seems like every deck I've played in the last few videos is control. But every time when I'm, you know, in the lab mixing and brewing, and I try something else, you know, aggro or one of the other archetypes, I just get schooled every time by one of the better version of those that are, you know, that everybody's playing in Mythic. So I just revert back to control because it's the only way to school these people. The only matchup that's a problem really is Savai Ultimatum, and even that. And yeah, actually, like I think this deck I'm running, the worst sort of matchup would be Savai Ultimatum. So we have no counter spells. All of our stuff does very little against their stuff. It would be a problem. But so far, we haven't played a single one of them. So I hope they're kind of fading off. I'm so sick of playing that deck. Oh, look at me. I can ramp and six and cast a big ass spell. You're so good at magic. Good on you. Okay. When I play the card, it just stays in the stack and sometimes freezes just about every game. I would definitely report that as a bug to Wizards of the Coast. I don't know what's going on there, dude. That's not normal at all. That's really not normal. Freezes on the stack, and then you lose. The rope doesn't start for them. No. Silverquill Clerics. Sweepers will take care of them. Oh, Amazon Clerics. This is actually a really fun deck. I was running this deck 2 to 3 seasons ago. It's great fun. Too bad I'm just going to sweep all of you. You should have put those counters on the Conclave Mentor, or at least you would have gained some life. Some kind of pump spell. Huh? Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Please come again. Play the castle next turn and then Skalds. Oof. Yay. was hoping he wouldn't see that. So we got a double. Do it on Toscan first. He doesn't know we have another in hand. Then we do the second one on the Heliod and then watch him swoop. Before we do that, we can take our time and do a lovely Nightmare on the Luminarch Aspirant. Oops! And we can Omen during their turn at flash speed. Do we have enough to 3, 1, 2, 3? If we draw a land, no, even if I've got a land, I can cast the Yorion right now. That's lovely. Yeah, sure. Oh, sorry, buddy. I got you. So do we blink everything now or do we cast Valki? That is the question. Off you go. Let's blink everything now. It's 2 AM in Italy. We'll be knackered. Yeah, Hello Good Game always goes on at 2 o'clock. I'm a bit late today. I do want to go and join the stream. If you want to go and catch his deck, you're welcome to bounce, Billy. I'll see you there. And again, thanks so much for watching, brother. It means a lot. You're one of my most loyal viewers at this early stage in my channel. Baboosh. The opponent is top decking. Sorry! Is that a land? Terribly sorry. Oh, what a deck. Climbing back up, huh? Got 1, 2... Okay, then how long have we been streaming for? Okay, we're on an hour, Billy. I'll see you on Have a Good Game stream. Alright, everybody. That's going to be it for today. I'm a little tired. The deck performed. We did... I can easily go and look through my MTGA assistant what my stats are for today. So we started streaming about an hour ago. So my opponent from 1 hour ago was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games, 1 loss. 90% win rate. Loving life. Thank you, Billy. Thank you. Really means a lot. I'll see you on the other stream. Alright, that's gonna be it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like what you saw, of course, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Drop a comment down below. It helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. And yeah, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And there's a little bell icon. You'll get notified every time I go live. That's going to be it for today. Thank you so much again. This is Lone Fox from the BrewLab signing out. Peace, y'all.